So today, unfortunately, the world got some pretty sad news. The creator of Yu-Gi-Oh, Kazuki Takahashi, has passed away. I wanted to make a video about this because it wasn't until I found out about his passing that I really had a chance to think back on how big of a force Yu-Gi-Oh has been in my life growing up. And I'm sure, like a lot of other people out there, Yu-Gi-Oh is actually how I ended up making some of the best friends I've made in my life. I suppose it's actually probably really fitting that a friend that I made through Yu-Gi-Oh is the same one who told me about Takahashi passing away. I also realized that this is kind of one of those situations where I wasn't expecting to be hit as hard by this news as I was or as I feel right now. It's very strange. This feels pretty close to losing a family member. I think that there is probably a very short list of people that if I ever had a chance to meet, I would want them to know how big of an influence their creation was in my life or their work has been in my life. I actually remember a while ago I had a chance to meet the Mets play-by-play radio announcer Howie Rose. And literally the first thing I told him, because I knew if I ever got a chance to meet him, all I wanted him to know was how much he's meant to my mom and I, who would always listen to the games on the radio together. I think that it didn't really hit me that Takahashi is 100% on that list. I think that he is one of those people where you hope that he knows how much his work has meant to so many people out there. The Yu-Gi-Oh show when I was growing up, it was literally like you were into Yu-Gi-Oh and you were into Pokemon. And there was always the Digimon crowd, which I was a part of as well. But the two biggest shows when I was growing up was Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon. And those were the two biggest card games as well, Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon. And friends and I played it when I was in elementary school and then ended up meeting my two best friends through Yu-Gi-Oh! And we played it literally our entire lives since then. I still have an entire binder full of sleeved up Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards just because that card game has meant so much, and I love the artwork on so many of them. And I was also a massive fan of the Yu-Gi-Oh show. My favorite season was undoubtedly the Waking the Dragons season, which I know is probably a very controversial hot take, especially since it is allegedly not canon with the rest of the series. But I don't know. There was something about that season, possibly because it was one of the only times, I think potentially the only time Yami actually lost in the original Yu-Gi-Oh series. The original Duelist Kingdom and Battle City are definitely very close. Second place there, probably tied. But I don't know, something about that Waking the Dragon series I really, really liked. Also, in general, Yu-Gi-Oh! Was just a really good show. The character development was really good. I mean, for anyone that saw Joey in season one and then Joey, as the show goes on, just become a better duelist and friend and all that stuff. Maybe some of this sounds kind of cheesy. I don't know, because Yu-Gi-Oh is like definitely thought of as more of like a kids thing, at least on like a grander scale. It is. But if you're a fan of the community and if you're part of the community, which I think a lot of us are, it's not just for kids. I think a lot of us grew up with it, but Yu-Gi-Oh has remained a part of our lives, and it, certainly in my case, and I'm sure many others, is a pillar of your life, just all the way through. I mean, I remember my mom taking me to Toys R Us when I was a kid to compete in a Yu-Gi-Oh tournament, and I even had like the Yu-Gi-Oh dual disc, like the original one that didn't fit card sleeves. So your cards just get all screwed up. But like we were like 10, so who cared? It's made a really big impact. And the odds of any of us ever having a chance to meet Takahashi, tell him just how much his work has meant to us is probably always pretty slim. But I do hope that he knew. I feel like I'm not alone in, people who've made some of their best friends in the world through this game, through this show, and this is a tough loss. Um, we're gonna miss you, Takahashi, and you know, yeah, we're gonna miss you.
Time to